Okay, I think we're live. Let's see. All right, let's see. I think we're live. We should be. Okay, cool. I'm on a different computer than I normally am, so it's a little bit different. It shouldn't be too big of a deal, but it might buffer a little bit more just because of that. So we're going to grab this right here. Close out of that. Post the live stream in my Discord, of course. Let's go ahead and close out of that. All right. So I think we've got everything up and running. Let me just double check here. Hey Gary, nice to have you here. Hopefully you can hear me and everything. Hey Wally, nice to have you as well. Always a pleasure to see you guys here. Always appreciated. And it looks like we're running on all cylinders here, so that's good. And okay, so Titans of the Dominion, we have a Fire Titan event. We knew that going in, which is cool. One thing that's going to be a little bit tougher too is that my screen's going to be a little smaller, but that's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this chest here because I haven't done it yet for the day. We got one Thea Soul Stone. Of course we did. Of course it's the one Soul Stone. Great. Okay. So we are logging in for a third time in the Scorching Days event. We also have incredible tenacity going on here. So we spent 250 energy. Not too much, right? Not too much at all. So that's okay. We'll go a little bit harder today. Acquiring soul stones. Okay, 500. Right. We knew that. We made a video on that, I believe. Talking about acquiring some of the boxes on my other account, so not necessarily this one, but that's okay. We got a bunch of items on this one, which is why I didn't end up getting a bunch of boxes on this account, but that's okay, and I didn't need them personally because all my heroes are already absolute on this account, which is really nice. Makes things easier when it comes to soul stones. Less attachment. Okay, so leveled up one glyph there, got that 700 activity, can't be slacking. Use a pet summoning one time. Okay, no problem. So we're just cruising through this. So far, I mean, it's nice to have a more lax event, but it's kind of, it feels weird not having that fourth tab after we had it for so long. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm always like, huh, what happened to that fourth tab? I mean, I know what happened, right? The event ended, but just feels a little bit emptier than normal. So we went ahead and ran that. A little energy spent there. We also have the two free, well, free, but 2 emerald, 50 emerald refills that I'm going to use here. We're going to get some, oh, we already did the soul stones. That's good. And I was working on Sebastian, actually. I got his new skin, right? So you can see I got the armor skin here. We're going to upgrade that one time. I need to do that anyway. And then also I was able to get Faceless to Red +2. And I was going to try to buy this item, but I ran out of time in the event to actually acquire that item. That's okay. So my Faceless was originally Red +1. So I moved him up and evolved him up to Red +2 using that last event. And then I've also gotten a couple of items here attached. Hey Brian, nice to have you here. Thank you for coming into the live stream. Won't be super long today, just kind of hanging out again as usual. And, you know, gonna have some good vibes. So always a good time. And yeah, so we got our Faceless a lot stronger in this last event. And I also, I am looking forward to Summerfest. It should be coming, in my opinion, soon. I know some people are speculating that we won't see it until later because in, you know, previous years, not last year, but the year before that, we had it about 2 months after, well, 2 months later, right? So 2 months later from where we're at right now, which is June, July, August. So in August, but that doesn't seem to make any sense to me. I think we would have it in late June. Well, I say mid-June. So my guess is 2 weeks away. We will see what happens though. Not going all out for this event. Only need skin coins for fire. Yeah, I hear that. I'm not going super hard in this event either. I really only need like you were saying, well, I don't know if that's exactly what you're saying, but the skin stones, that's all I really need anyway for my Titans for the most part, other than artifacts, which really makes these not super useful. Well, not these, but these types of events not super useful for this account because it's already I've accomplished what I needed to do with this type of an event. But my other account is Fire Titan mainly, so I definitely take advantage of that on that account and am more active on that account with this type of an event. But yeah, I hear you on that, Gary. No shame in that. This event is not, if you don't need it, you don't need it. That's kind of how some of these events run, and that's where we're at. Okay, so we have 247 energy. We might as well use some towards this, and we will definitely collect that Devourer of Mages in the shop. We also have 19 minutes before these shops reset, so we better buy anything if we like it. And I like everything here, kind of. I don't know. Don't really need it, but it's okay. We want all these soul stones for... Oh, we don't have enough. Okay, so I didn't run the tower today yet, of course. But let's go ahead and try to collect a couple more Hero Soul Stones before the timer resets in 18 minutes here. Okay, so we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. Again, Rufus, Ishmael, Marcus, and Leanne. Tower shop, I'll have to do a tower run, I guess. Trading in some soul shop. Let's see, I don't really want to do any soul stones there. Not quite worth it. I'd rather have the skin stone chests. So I'll have to see what I want to do there. Yeah, I definitely want to open these elemental boxes. I was going to open them early in the week, but I decided to save them for the live stream. So those should be cool to open because I'm still working again on my Titan artifacts, but not necessarily the Soulstone aspect, which is what this event is mainly focusing on, right? So I'm in the same boat as Gary. Wally here says I'm beating up Chapter 13 right now so I can collect extra chests for Soul Stones. I hear ya. That is one solution. Definitely could work. Also, someone in the comments yesterday was saying that they didn't think that it was necessary to get the Hero Soul Stones from the last event to prepare for this event. I agree, and I also disagree. It depends on where you stand in the game. So that's my opinion on that. That's why on this account I didn't take advantage of the Soul Stones, whereas on the other account I did. So we got 15 sunken chests. Cool, because we had some leftover abyssal coins. I couldn't quite use them all. I wanted to use them for that item, like I said. Just couldn't get to it. And as you can see, I kind of been failing to collect some stuff here, but that's okay. Game message. Okay, got that. Ranking reward. Guild War Week. We got that artifact. Well, we had the VIP. Well, we had Valkyrie's favorite active, which is why we got the award. Okay, so 500 energy. We'll collect that. Don't want to collect that yet. But yeah, Chapter 13, that's a good one. Let's see, Chapter 13. Who's in Chapter 13? Just so I'm on the same page. I'm curious. 13 is Crystal Throne. Oh, maybe you're getting some Helios or the twins, Peppy. I mean, these are all good heroes, so nothing wrong with getting those ones for sure. I think the most usable are probably these three. I mean, Peppy's good. You just need to have, ideal with Cleaver there, so that can make it a little bit more difficult to maximize the utility of her, but, all solid. Hi, Richard W. Nice to have you here. You are finding me well. It's a little warm right now. It's still 90 degrees. It's actually crazy. But yeah, so it's a little bit warm, but we're hanging in there. Hi, how would I rate Dante? I would rate Dante, and in here I think I have him rated on my last. Let me find it. I have a tier list on him. I can get you a specific, more specific on where I rate Dante, and we can talk about it a little bit more in depth as well. Hi, Michael. Nice to have you here. Hola. Okay, let's see. So let me find my video here, and I know that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and find playlists, tier lists, and oh no, it's just playing the whole thing. No, okay, we want the most recent tier list, not that one. Oh no, please tell me we're not running. No. Oh, keto. Okay. Well, in 3 seconds I will show you. Dante is a good hero, but and this is on Facebook and web. There are going to be flaws with Dante. So Dante is a very good attacker now. So I have Dante in the A tier class, right? The only difference keeping him from S tier is that he needs a little bit more support around him as opposed to some of these S tier heroes. But he's a very solid hero, which puts him in this A tier. I'd say he's a very good hero. Um, One of the best free attackers you can get, right? So some of the free attackers I'm going to consider free are Kira, Dante, Ryan. Those are heroes that you can get early in game that are very accessible, um, which it also, allows for them to be easier access, and they have a lot of flexibility. They have a lot of flexibility. You can get them early in game, you can use them a lot, and they're good. Dante's really good, and with the rework, right, that Dante had, Sorry, something just crawl. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. With Dante, Dante's actually a really good hero. Let me find Dante. Dante had a complete overhaul rework. He was terrible, I think 3 months ago, and then they had a rework, and now he's really good. So it's really changed things up. They also reworked the dodge feature, which totally threw things out of whack, made Aurora the best tank in game. Wasn't the case for a long time. So Dante's very good. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Okay, Dante is weak versus Magic. Yes, that is exactly what I was about to get to, Richard W. But yeah, so Dante is definitely an A tier. The reason Dante's really good against Kark, and the reason for that is Kark has low health. So I understand why you might be struggling with a Dante. The other factor is depending on who else is on this Dante team. So the other thing that's going to be a factor is who's with Dante. So if you have a tank that like Aurora with Dante, that makes Dante way stronger. Because Dante on his own is decent, but Aurora is an S tier hero who gives more dodge to everyone on her team. That really can make it be a problem for players who use Dante. Dante also doesn't have a lot of health, but because he stands middle to more backline, if you have Martha on the team, that really helps save and make him last a long, long time. So some really good teams I've seen with Dante, and these would be like, obviously you can make some really good teams with Dante. So Aurora, Dante, Sebastian, and Isaac is a pretty strong team that I've seen used a couple of times. Why is my mouse not moving? Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Sebastian and Isaac, who's right here. So this is a pretty effective team I've seen. Yeah, Dante plus Isaac is not bad against Magic teams, but you still need Aurora. If you don't have Aurora, this team can still get beaten pretty easily with Magic teams because the thing is, Isaac is good, but if you overwhelm him with Magic, so let's say like you put in, right, and this would be without Aurora as a tank. If you put in like Astaroth as a tank or Anvari, you're completely different ball game. Aurora makes this team very, 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 very dangerous. And if you have this type of team, sometimes you're going to struggle with Kark. So like let's say for example, you have Kark. Let me find Nebula. Let's say you have this team right here. And the other factor is going to be pets as well. So sometimes pets will play a major part, right? So whatever pet you have on Kark can make a huge difference, and whatever pet is on Dante can be huge as well. And then if you have Kane on Aurora, that can just mess things up for the entire matchup because you can't account for that with the max battle testing right now. Aurora with Kane as the patronage is one of the most difficult heroes to beat. And here you can see, right? So all these dodge effects are coming in, and Dante actually got knocked out right there by Kark. And so part of it also might be, I don't know if all your heroes are maxed and the team you're facing is all maxed, but that can also play a factor. And you can see here, right, even with, this Kark team does pretty well against this particular lineup, but I think that's also because pets are not involved. So that's going to be a huge, huge factor, right? So Kark normally should be able to beat Dante for the most part, but I think the heroes around each main damage dealer like Kark or Dante will be a huge differentiator when we're talking about beating teams. So I don't think you can go wrong having either Kark or Dante. And I realize again that you're saying Dante usually beating your Kark team. I'm going to need you to tell me who's on this Dante team and who's on your Kark team so we can swap out, because sometimes it's just one hero that's making the difference, that's causing you to lose against these Dante damage dealing teams, right? So if you can find me those teams, I can more accurately go ahead and approach those teams and take them down. So, a little more information would be very helpful. So I hope that helps kind of give you a rough idea, but we can definitely work more with that, if that makes sense. Okay, so Sebastian here. Okay, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and try to acquire some more of these items here. What's it called? I don't build very many of these. What are these called? These are in the Enslaved Demon recipe. Whew. Scary name. Okay. So there we go. We got that. We also have a lot more gold than I need, but that's okay for now. You can clean that up with Rufus or with Isaac. You can definitely use Rufus. I've seen Rufus used with Aurora, or even Astaroth, and sometimes that can be an annoying combo as well. I tend to find that unless Dante gets trash dodge luck, Dante usually beats Kark. Again, what team are you talking about with Dante and what team with Kark? Because I've rarely, well, I also swap out my team a lot. So like I usually use the same Kark, but I usually swap out the remaining heroes and my pets almost every time, depending on the formation of the team. So can you tell me who else is on these Dante teams that you guys are facing? Because the Dante teams I'm facing I'm not having any problems. So you're here, your team is, okay, let's go here. Okay, so we got Kark. And the other thing is it's going to be different for offense versus defense. Keep that in mind as well. Offensive team always has the advantage. Kark, and why is that? That's because that's how Hero Wars was made. So if anyone's wondering, yes, usually the offensive team will have a better chance of winning than the defensive team. Kark, Nebula, Faceless, and Martha. Okay, so decent squad. You're also going to want to have available Sebastian because this team is good, but what happens when you see Jorgen on the opposing team? You're in trouble. Maybe Oscar. Maybe I don't know for sure because, and again, it's going to be different for Facebook and mobile. So and Facebook and web versus mobile. So I should also clarify that as well. Kane, Dante is so much stronger against physical teams. Yeah, Kane with Aurora is better than Kane with Dante. Just saying. Like, if I'm being 100% honest, Kane with Aurora is strong. So with pets, it's a completely different ballgame. Yes, that is true. It is pretty different. But hold on, let's see. So that was your team, but what is the... Okay, Dante, Nebula, Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian's gonna mess you guys up too because Sebastian adds critical attack, and that's something Dante can really take advantage of. Kark's not great with defense. Kark is not a defensive player. Got to keep that in mind. So, okay, let's see. So Dante, Nebula, Sebastian, Martha, and who's the other one? Sometimes a tank like Aurora. So Aurora will definitely change the game, and that will not be good for you. Anvari is an instant. You're gonna lose because Anvari is a counter to Kark. Rarely do I even try to attempt battling a Anvari team with Kark. So if they have that team, you're not gonna win. With Rufus, you might win. Let's see, but you have no chance. I mean, I would say almost you have very small chance of winning if you have Kark on your team and they're using Anvari. Doesn't matter if they're using Dante. I think they could use Kira. They could use almost any other attacking hero with Anvari, and your Kark team would lose. Because Anvari is in my opinion, an almost instant counter to a Kark. Yeah, see. This is a very offensive team. So whoever made this Dante team knew what they're doing. And here's why I say that. So if you look at this team right here, we got Dante as your main damage dealer. Sebastian's giving you extra. Sorry guys, I just got a text about food and it distracted me. I need to respond to it. Okay, hold on. Let me open my messages. I'm just gonna. Slowing down everything. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. All right, but anyway, so Dante with Nebula. Nebula boosts physical damage dealt, which is really helpful with Dante. Sebastian also has a critical hit increase, making Dante's hits, right? Because Dante can, I think he can do 4 hits, 6 hits. I need to double check. He can do a lot of hits. So if he has more opportunities to hit, physical attack is boosted with Nebula, and Sebastian's giving him critical hit chance, more critical hit chance. Yeah, extra critical hit chance, extra pure damage, and extra starting. Okay. I mean, that's a huge boost. So he's using, whoever this player is that's using this Dante team is using the right boost for this physical attack team. The best way to stop this is going to be putting in Jorgen. You see this team, right? Well, Jorgen is going to get in trouble by Sebastian, but let's see. How can I counter this team with what we have, okay? You think Dante is more powerful as the tank? Okay, well, we'll try it out. I believe you. Let's see. Dante, something like Jorgen or Jet. You will instantly lose if you have Jorgen on this team because you have no one to protect you from Jorgen's stealing your skills, and Kark's not going to have any chance to attack. So you need Sebastian and you need Jorgen available on your team to counter this type of a team because you can't win based off. I mean, even without Dante, let's say I put in anyone else. Let's say I put in Yasmin. You're still going to lose. The problem is that the support heroes on this team are built to beat teams fast. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to figure out a couple more heroes to put in here and I'm going to put Yasmin in instead of Dante. And I think you'll still have a problem. So let's go ahead and put Yasmin in with Sebastian, Nebula, Martha, and you said Jet. We can try it. I mean, Yasmin being in the first spot is probably not as good as Dante because Dante has a little more health. But I just want to see how close I am in saying that because I actually think that it's going to be the case. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to close that. We're going to put Jet in. I still think it's better to have a tank with Yasmin, but I still think that with this lineup, I mean, it's just like you're going to be in trouble because Yasmin didn't take out Kark, so that's going to be game over here. But let me try it with the same team. I'm just going to put Rufus in instead of Yasmin and see if that changes things. I think you're giving too much credit to the Dante part of it and not enough credit to the support heroes that are around this team. Martha, Nebula, and Sebastian. Because, again, Sebastian, in my opinion, is the most usable character in game. The game changer with Sebastian. There you go. Oh. Okay, well, maybe not with Yasmin in this one, but I definitely think with pets, that Yasmin team is going to beat that Kark team. But anyway, okay. Dante Tank can be very strong. I think Dante Tank is very good if you have the right heroes behind him. Let's go back to this Dante build you were talking about. So Dante with... Well, you can't use Jorgen because you don't have anyone to protect against Jorgen. So we're going to use Jet. And even that's not good because you don't have Sebastian blocking Jet's ability. So, like, okay, I'm going to put in their team as a... And let me ask, are you also attacking this team and losing? Or are you only losing on defense? Because that can be a huge difference, too. Because offensive team's always going to have an advantage when you're talking about these matchups. So Dante, and you said Dante. You said Jorgen, Martha, Seb. Who's the other one? Nebula. So this was the build you were talking about, but I think offensively this is a pretty unbalanced team. I would go with, against this type of team, I would probably use Kark, of course. Seb. I would also probably even go Jorgen, Astaroth. I might use like Nebula. Oh, we could use Faceless too. I would probably use Nebula though. I'd use something like this if I saw this, but I think without pets, it's not a super fair representation. But there's Dante goes down in like 2 seconds, and this team has, I mean, they can stall, but they're not going to win on defense, right? So you have that. But I guess we can try a different combo on defense. So Dante with, I don't know, you think Aurora, maybe Aurora's better? I mean, the thing with Aurora is it's unfair because Aurora's very good, and you can't account for her pet, which makes her that much better. Let's see. We'll use the rest of this, though. So we'll go Seb. Seb with Aurora is crazy also. That's just a very, what do you call it? It has the right, oh no, synergy. That's the word I was looking for. They have the right synergy. These three right here. Well, I mean, Seb has good synergy with most heroes, so it's crazy. But yeah, so there's that. Let's find Nebula. So against this type of a team, I would probably, and Aurora's a problem for Kark, because if Kark can't hit, you got a problem. Kark, Seb. I almost never don't use Seb when I have Kark on my team. I almost always use Seb. Actually, regardless of the team, I try to use Sebastian almost every time. Okay, so here I want to use Jorgen, but I don't want to use Jorgen because if I put him in, I'm not going to be dealing with the damage dealers who are up front. So we need Faceless. Who else do we need? I'm probably going to go with Nebula. This is probably a team I would try to use. So I think this will be a closer fight, but I think if you're the attacking team, you have a better chance. See, Dante went out like right away. So I wouldn't even, I mean, I don't think, I don't know. I think if you just use the right combos when you're facing a certain team, you shouldn't have any problems. And I think the same can be said for Dante attacking Kark teams. I think they can beat each other, in my opinion, almost no problem. You just need to choose the right supports around your damage dealer. Which, this game has become increasing because there's a lot of good damage dealers. Once you have a good damage dealer, the next important thing is the supports, right? So here with Kark, we have Sebastian, who basically allows for more critical hits. Nebula's increasing physical attack. Faceless has the first skill that can copy Kark, and it makes that skill way stronger. And you have Astaroth, who's a true tank and protecting Kark from getting knocked out in one hit. Over here, it's still synergetic, but they're on defense, so they have less time to build up that energy, and so they're at a disadvantage. So this Kark team, the offensive team, in my opinion, always has an advantage. And of course, we can't account for pets, so this team's going to be a little bit stronger, but so will this team that I just used. Let's see, what else? What other Dante teams were you talking about? We can try Jet. We can try putting in Jet. But then, well, if we put in Jet, though, then who are we taking out? Nebula? Let's see. Maybe we take out Nebula and we put in Jet. See if that changes anything. I don't think it will change anything, honestly. Because Sebastian will counter Jet, like, right away. So let's see. Let's go ahead and find Kark. Seb. Seb is the best hero in the game on Facebook and web. Just saying. I said that about about Aurora a while ago, and I still think that's relatively true, but they've slightly made her weaker. Not a lot weaker, just slightly. Okay. There's that. Dante. Oh, no. Yeah, this is supposed to be Dante, not Kark. Dante. Martha, and I put Jet in for Nebula, so the other one needs to be Aurora. Hey, oh, Negro, nice to have you here. How is my energy? I'm doing okay. We're hanging in there. It is pretty hot today, and it's still warm in my room. I have a fan going, but it is warm. So I probably won't be on stream super long today, but we're hanging in there. We're doing our best, and we're trying to have a little bit of fun playing Hero Wars. So yeah, that's how we're doing today, oh, Negro. I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, now going back to the Kark team. I would go Kark, of course, Seb to counter Jet. It will also slightly counter Aurora, and Aurora is really good against magic attack teams, so you don't want to have too many magic attackers on your team if you can avoid it. Where's my Astaroth? Astaroth. Who else? Let's see. We want Faceless. We want... I would consider putting Jorgen on this team, but again, I still want to take out the front line first, so I don't want to redirect, because Jorgen has the effect that redirects to last hero. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in Martha. I would consider someone else. Maybe even like Nebula. But yeah, I'd probably put in Nebula. Nebula's better if you're an offensive guy. So we'll go ahead and go with this. At least I'm not in Florida. That's probably true. I have no idea how hot it is in Florida right now, but I can't imagine. But it is muggy right now because it's supposed to rain in the next couple days. So it is pretty hot and muggy. It's not quite Florida. You're right. Yeah, it's definitely... Whew, it's toasty out here. Hey, Assassin. Thanks for stopping in. Everything is well, and I hope everything is well with you as well. Love that. Okay. So there you go. Again, Kark is motoring through these guys. So I think the solution to your team might be to add Sebastian so that you have a little bit more of a balanced team. I mean... That's just, yeah, I think potentially having Sebastian in for, I think you had Martha, could make a difference when you're facing these teams that have Sebastian and them on them. Try to take out Martha for Jet. Okay. Yeah, we can do that, no problem. So we got Auto Max, Dante. And the other factor, too, is these are all maxed out characters, right? So let's say that Dante on the opposing team that you are facing is stronger than your Kark. So if that's the case, you're also at a disadvantage. So the other thing is level, right? There's a lot of components that, unless they're all red +2, it's going to be a struggle to necessarily be. But let's see. Seb, you said take out Martha. No problem. We'll take that out. We'll put in Nebula. We'll take in Aurora and Jet. Jet. Where is Aurora? Don't think I missed her. There we go. There we go. Here's the team. So we're going to go with this. Then we're going to go with Astaroth, Kark, Seb. With this team, I really think that I want to consider using Jorgen. We won't the first try, but the next try we will. First try I'm going to use Nebula. Next try I'm going to use Jorgen. So we're going to go ahead and fight with this team. And yeah, so it looks like the key here was that Jet weakened our defenses a little too much and we couldn't get our Sebastian to ult enough to compensate for that. So instead of using Nebula, I'm going to use Jorgen. And that might not change too much, but that could also be a factor. The other thing I'm considering is using Isaac to basically stop or slow down these 4 heroes. It won't slow down Dante, but it'll slow down almost everyone else. Let's see. So instead of that, we will put in Jorgen, and we're going to use Faceless. And what's good about this combo is with Faceless, if Faceless copies Jorgen, this Sebastian's skills will be very, very minimal in affecting the matchup. So that's something to watch out for when you're facing someone who's doubling up using Sebastian and Jorgen. It does end up eating 2 slots, right, of heroes, but it can be very effective if used correctly. So let's see how this goes. And this is the big thing here. Kark needs this guy to avoid getting KO'd too early in the matchup. So this is, I think, Nexus of Horrors or something like that. I gotta double check. But that skill is very important for Kark. Oof. That Dante did hit heavy with the boost from Nebula, and Jet had already weakened everyone. Okay, so that won't work there. That's okay. We'll just have to find a little different solution. No big deal. The other thing to consider here is Helios, in my opinion. Let's try Isaac first. Let's try Isaac. The other thing we may have to consider is putting in Shaba instead of Astaroth. That way we can get straight to Dante. We have a couple of options. I just want to test them out before I just kind of do them all. But let's see. So there, and then we need Faceless. Where's Faceless? Faceless. Okay. I'm going to take out Martha for Nebula. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is a much more effective team for them, which is fine. But I'm sure there's a solution with Kark. I'm sure there is. I'm going to try Chaba. Interesting team, but we're going to use Chaba because Chaba will take Aurora out of the fight long enough for us to hopefully do some damage. Let's see, Seb, Astaroth. Who am I missing? Is it Nebula? No. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Could put in Helios. Yeah, I will. Helios is good against critical hit damage dealers. So this could be the solution also to Dante. Gotta double check. I don't really know if Dante has critical. I thought he did because of the new power up. Let's see. Yeah, you meant to take out Nebula. I got you. But this is a pretty effective team. You say no healing. I mean, that's kind of true, but it's also kind of not because Helios has a mitigation in terms of the amount of damage dealt. So that is a type of healing, and he's also considered a healer. I don't consider him a straight up healer, but there we go. Helios took out Dante right there. And then you have Kark, who's able to basically use vampirism, kind of. When he tosses up the opponents, he regains some health. So, I mean, yeah, it's limited in healing, but we got rid of the Dante problem. Now the issue is, can we take out everyone else? We might not be able to. We might be able to. Do we have enough time? Yep, we were able to take everyone out. So this team is also able to attack it. Sometimes you have to have unique builds, and yes, I realize just armor penetration. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't use Nebula enough to know for sure, but I know that the Sebastian was giving critical hits out to Dante, and so Helios would be able to deal a little more damage than normal because of that critical hit damage that Sebastian is granting Dante. So that's one factor there. Let's go ahead and use this other team. You wanted to use not Nebula, but keep Martha in. Okay, so Dante, Seb, Martha, Aurora, and Jet, I believe. Jet, Aurora. This team here, building Shaba would be a luxury. I agree. I agree. Nothing. I mean, I agree with you on that. Okay, let's see. So here we have Kark, of course. Kark, Seb. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm thinking I want to use Isaac. And Faceless. Yeah, I agree. Shaba's not the best, if not against Aurora. I agree with that. Man, Dante Sebastian getting taken out early on this team was not good. I don't know if you saw that, but he got taken out way early. Okay, going back to the drawing board here. Let's go back. Kark, Sebastian. Let's go with Neb. We'll also put in Martha, and we'll just put in Astaroth. This is basically your team with, I think, Sebastian in place of Faceless. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The tough thing is one hero being subbed in and out can change the entire complexion of a matchup, so you have to compensate for that change. Man, a lot of dodge is taking place right now. That Dante should have been knocked out. But Sebastian got knocked out. That's good. We can get rid of Jet. That would be nice too. But it looks like there's a lot of healing going on with that Martha, and we're going to get timed out. Chaba needs a little more work to be respected tank. I agree. I think if they added some more health, well, actually, I think they need to add like armor or something, but yeah, I'll have to look at that. But I definitely think Chaba has potential. I think it's similar to, in my opinion, who is it, Lilith? Lilith has some potential. Needs a slight rework though, not quite enough, or needs some more skins. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go. I think we used Helios, right? We used Helios last time. Helios for the critical hit that Sebastian will give. Kark, Seb, Neb, Astaroth. Let's see how this goes. This may be a little bit better. The problem is that the dodge is really messing stuff up. And with Kayn, there'll be even more dodge. So that's going to mess things up further. And so it really seems like Chaba needs to be one of the heroes that you have with Kark to make this effective, because Aurora is just causing a problem. You can see that Dante was getting more dodge every time Aurora was ulting. So with this particular lineup, I would want to consider someone who maybe is, I don't know, maybe we need to go more physical attack. So we go, instead of Astaroth, we go with Ishmael, for example. Like, you kind of have to come like no longer oriental or traditional when it comes to this team, because they have a lot of support that do multiple things. So let's go ahead and try this. I'm going to go ahead and put in Faceless as well. See how this goes. I think Dante slightly counters Kark. You can try other comps like Corvus, Morgan, and other heroes. I agree and disagree, because I think if we had more, if you had multiple physical attackers on this team, I don't think you'd lose. The problem is that we're relying only on Kark, and Aurora does damage, right? Whereas Astaroth doesn't do any damage. So Astaroth is just standing there, where you have Aurora who actually, I mean, we can try putting Aurora in, see if that changes anything. Let's try this. I mean, he's survived longer already. Got knocked out there because that was unfortunate, but yeah, okay. The problem is Aurora. The problem is not Dante on this team. The problem is Aurora. I mean, again, I think you use Chaba and you get rid of Aurora, and then this team's not as strong. And I know you said that Chaba is a luxury, but I think the problem is Aurora is giving too much dodge to Dante. Dante on his own doesn't have as much dodge. Let's try this. Yeah, I know. And if I lose with this, I'll put Helios in instead of Nebula. But yeah, I think the biggest issue here is going to be this Aurora just giving too much dodge to her team. So if you take her out of the fight so she can't ult, that's a game changer. Oof. That was not ideal, though. Nebula didn't do what she needed to do in time. She didn't ult. She got knocked out. She's supposed to heal right there. It's okay. Happens. Okay, let's try this again. This time with Helios. Chaba. This will be the last test that I do with this one. Faceless. I do think that Kark is very good. I just think that, you know, it's hard when you're having, again, just, oof. So with Aurora, you have a hero that that deals damage, where, you know, with Kark, you usually have Astaroth, who's not dealing damage. I mean, it is, but it's so minimal that doesn't do anything. And then you also have Aurora, also, in addition to dealing that damage, giving more dodge to Dante, which allows him to survive. Okay, there he just got taken out. That was Helios, I'm pretty sure. And now we got Faceless copying Dante, which is doing work. So, I mean, again, I think the biggest thing is going to be this Aurora. And with Chaba, I mean, that's really like your best bet against this team, because Dante has a good amount of dodge, but not enough dodge to avoid Kark. But when you add Aurora, it's a game changer. So that's the solution there. It's really tough because I get it. But I guess if you want to call that a counter, then yeah, it's a slight counter. But it's a 2-hero counter, not a 1-hero counter, because it's Aurora plus Dante, not just Dante versus Kark. Like, Aurora's still standing. She's strong. She's strong, guys. Don't sleep on Aurora. But anyway, okay. So there's that. Yeah, I think, again, I mean, Dante's good, but if you have Aurora, Aurora's really good against magic attackers, right? And here's the thing. Here's why. So you have... No, not that one. No, not that one. No, it's this one. Okay, so Aurora absorbs damage that's magic damage. So she'll survive, like, she will allow Dante to survive longer, and then that will give Dante a chance to deal more damage. So, yes, I think naturally with Aurora plus Dante, this team will last longer. But I don't think Dante on his own survives. It's just like when you said Dante as a tank. Dante as a tank is not amazing. Aurora plus Dante makes Dante shine. And Aurora doesn't get as much credit as she's probably due. That's my take on that. Good team, though. Good team. Nothing wrong with that team. Just I don't think it's all Dante. I think part of it is going to be Aurora there. Yeah, I don't think he's S tier, though, because S tier would allow, without Aurora, for him to be that good. And he's not that good without Aurora. And Aurora is S tier, right? So Aurora and Sebastian. I mean, look at this team. If you look at the tiers, right? So okay, April. I should have just kept it open. I closed it. Oh, not M1 investing. Okay, let's skip that. But yeah, here's the thing. You're looking at these supports, and look, Aurora is an S tier hero. Not only that, I think she's the best tank in the game right now. You also have the fact that Martha is an S tier hero, and then you also have Sebastian, who is an S tier hero. So you already have 3 S tier heroes on that game, or in that team, and then you're adding an A tier hero, which is really, really strong. And then the only other hero that I think was added was Jet, who's also should be A tier. The reason he's dropped to A- is because of how hard Jet is to acquire. That's why I moved Jet to A-. I explained that in my tier video, I believe, as well. But Jet is really hard to get, which is why he's A-. But he's also technically an A tier hero. The other one is going to be Nebula, who is also an A tier hero. So that entire team is very, very strong. I personally think that Faceless's defense could put Faceless in an A- tier, but sure, Astaroth is an S tier hero, you're right, as is Kark. Then you have those two on your team. You were using Martha, fair, but then you were using Nebula, and who was the other one you were using? You were using someone else. Who are you using? You were using... let's see. Oh, you're using Nebula as well. I don't know. I just don't think that... I mean, between the S tier heroes, you can see Aurora's better than Astaroth, even though they're both S tier heroes. Watch. At least I think it's pretty obvious. You could disagree with me on that. I mean, they are both S tier heroes, and you're going to have to say, like, one's better than the other at certain things. Like, Astaroth is the only hero that revives a hero on your team. Right? Marcus is probably the closest second thing to that, but really he doesn't revive anyone other than himself and stays on the field. If we have a 1v1 matchup of Astaroth versus Aurora, who's going to win? Probably Aurora. Actually, I almost guarantee that, but we can see how it goes. Astaroth also doesn't deal enough damage, which Aurora deflects some damage, so that might not be good either. I mean, it doesn't show a whole lot. We're just wasting time at this point. Okay, that's fine. But Aurora is better than Astaroth when it comes to a 1v1. Yeah. Astaroth is still a very good hero, and he's S tier, but Aurora's better. It's like Sebastian's S tier as well, but Sebastian is above Jorgen even. And Jorgen is an S tier hero, but Jorgen could be dropped to A if you have Sebastian on that team. So there's a lot of factors that can go into it. I still think Dante is an A tier hero. I don't quite think he's S tier. I think one more physical attack skin, and yeah, that's a threat, major threat. Dante's dangerous. But I still think he's you need Aurora. If you don't have Aurora, he's not S tier. Right, I mean, my Dante's skills are maxed out. I can make him stronger if I wanted to. But I don't really think that he's that crazy. I mean, he's good, no doubt about it. He's really good, really good damage dealer. I just don't think that he's S tier. You know, that's up for debate, obviously. People can have their own opinions on that, but that's my opinion. I don't think I don't quite think that he's at that level yet. I mean, I've used Kark with Dante before on a team, and it can be a very effective team. But again, they're both physical attackers. That's what they do. Yeah, do they use Kark and Dante together? Because that's something that I think should be done. Like, that's a very good team. But again, that's assuming you have the resources to use both of them on the same team. And if they're not on the same team, then I don't know. I've seen stronger teams, I guess. I don't think that proves anything, because who else is on the... I mean, is Aurora on the team with Dante? Is Dante on the team by himself? Like, you can give me percentages all day, but unless we know, like, more about the detail... Oh, Kark and Dante teams? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But I don't think that it makes them necessarily S tier. I think it's very good, but I think with Aurora and Dante together, they have the synergy to be S tier or even above that in terms of strength in game. But if you have only Dante with, like, Astaroth versus Dante with Aurora, yeah, Aurora is really good. So, I mean, Aurora with Dante makes sense to me. Aurora, or Dante by himself, is not S tier. He's just not. Aurora with Dante makes Dante S tier caliber, but he's not S tier by himself. I mean, I'm not going to continue to argue the point. Like that, I think I made my point. Take it or leave it. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, Dante's good. There's no doubt about it. But I think individually Kark is better. I think Yasmin is a counter to Kark, kind of. If can't see him, can't defend against Yasmin. But anyway, okay, let's try to get back to some of this task here. Look, here's the bottom line. I have a video on Aurora. If you want to watch the video on Aurora, you can watch the video on Aurora, because it explains that she deals damage. She dodges. She gives her whole team dodge with this artifact right here. This one right here. Look at the dodge that's given to her entire team, right? And this is not even, this is like halfway. We can upgrade it. You can see the dodge amount that gets increased is exponential for every single hero on her team. That allows for him, aka Dante, to survive longer in the matchup. When you have a higher dodge versus, when you have a higher dodge, you're gonna avoid getting hit. Additionally, right? So that just makes sense. That just logically makes sense. You're getting damage because you have this light flash, which deals damage to all enemies. You also have stunning targets, right? So targets are stunned. So if Kark doesn't deal any hits, not really being very useful, right? For example, then you have this skill right here, but that also just nullifies magic damage. But again, you got dodge, plus you have dealing damage, and then you have a stun skill. With Dante, you have a very good offensive hero, not great defensive stats, but okay dodge. You add a crazy amount of dodge with Aurora, Dante now has also a crazy amount of dodge. I mean, if you want, I can send you an hour-long video on me explaining it, but no. I'm not explaining this anymore. Okay, we're moving on. I'm not going to use my time for that. Okay. Spending energy, we can do that right now. I have 7 bottled energy. We're just going to use them all. Okay. Ooh, we got close. I kind of want to just spend the emeralds to do it, and I will. And we will 3 away. Are you kidding? Come on. Okay, let's go ahead. Get me my last 3. I get at least 2. We got 3. Okay, we got more than 3, but that's good enough. We'll create this item. Okay, we're close there. Let's see. Open artifact. Okay. Here we go. We got some stuff there. I'm also going to open up the 60 boxes that I have here. These 60 elemental boxes. Okay, we got some essence. We got skin stones. That's what I really want. I don't really care about anything other than the skin stones and the essences. Those are good. Everything else does me no good. Nice. More essence. Nice. More skin stones. Good. I mean, I guess I can trade in the artifacts, but it doesn't really help me. I don't need gold. I don't need really those, but that's okay. Okay, so we got a couple of skin stones out of that, which is good. I'm going to open this platinum box. I'm going to open these sunken chests. You do get more sunken chests out of the sunken chests, but it's not really much of what I need, so it doesn't really do me much good. I mean, thanks for the rewards, hero wars, but I'd rather get my item that I wanted to get. Okay. Okay, we're finishing this up right here. Okay, Scorching Days, we were able to do some stuff there. We were able to do some stuff here, spend some energy. What? Come on. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Emerald Waterfalls. Let's go ahead and collect this and collect this. Energetic Warrior. Okay, let's collect all the energy that we just spent. Let's see. What else is there? Airship. Always important to do that. Hi, BBO. No, I did not just get my totems by spending emeralds. I did spend a lot of emeralds for some of them, but not all of them. So I can explain that in a sec. Let me just start this because I don't think I've done any expeditions today. literally been, what did I do? I did a financial consult today for a client. I did some budgeting, did some, what else did I do? Did some grading because I'm on a journal and I need to grade some people's stuff like that, which is important because I'm on a journal for science and technology. I'm really big into all the tech stuff. Let's see, so we got this. I really like looking at all mechanical things, so I like to figure out and dissect things like that. So that was cool. That was what I did today. Let's see, got that. Also went to the gym today. Solid day overall. Okay, going back to this. Hi Jay, how did you get your absolute totem? Okay, so for my absolute totem, I spent emeralds to get the first two totems, or two fragments, which were both earth for me because I decided I want an earth team. After that, so I got two fragments for earth. After that, I used a bunch of artifact spheres here. I think I had 500. So after Winterfest, 3 years ago, I got 500 of these Titan Artifact Spheres, and I traded them all in, and I got 2 more totems. I got 2 Earth Spirit totems. And then I used more emeralds. I got a water fragment, so I had 4 in 1. And then I basically used mostly emeralds after that. So I got 3 totem fragments that were from free Titan Artifact Spheres. And I got 1 from, where is it? From one, like I actually got 2 from these lesser elemental spirit summoning. 1 from the first Winterfest that I did, and 1 from the second Winterfest that I did. And then I have this extra one now that I'm going to give to a guildmate eventually. I just haven't gotten around to the time, but I will be doing that. So that's how I got my totems to absolute. So I did spend a lot of emeralds, but not all of them were received using emeralds. 3 of them, again, were from the, what do you call it? From the free summoning artifacts. Should I love the elemental skin of Sigurd first or the default skin? Very good question. I would, and let me double check. I think it's default. Well, let me double check. What did I do? I'll know as soon as I look at it because I don't remember. Okay, so let's see. We have Sigurd here. Skins. Health and elemental armor. I did the health one first. Well, I'm doing it now, but I would still do the health first over the elemental armor. Elemental armor is good. I just think the health is a little more important. That's my 2 cents. That's what I'm doing. I mean, I would still get the champion skin like first before I started upgrading the default, but that's just because I know I can use emeralds, and sometimes if I win enough in arena, I can, if I move up to top 10 or 1 for 1 day or whatever, then I can spend some emeralds. So that's why I do it. You can't get the champion skins with just spending emeralds. You can't do it. So, yep. So you can do there. Oh no, you spent 1K and you are not able to get it. That is unfortunate, Steven. I'm sorry for that. That's some really bad luck. But granted, I also got really lucky because the rates that you actually pull these are super low. Not supposed to be super high. But I will say sometimes during some events, I see like a lot of people pulling them, fragments that is. It just seems like some events, sometimes they have a higher yield or rate in terms of, and that was from 1 day of fighting in the Hall of Fame. We got 2, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, so it's tough. It was a lot of luck, and it doesn't always work out that way. The rates are very low for Altar of Elements. The merchant here, I'm going to trade these in, but I really wanted the Skinstone chest. So yeah, I did get pretty lucky. Thanks for asking, BBO, and yeah, I got pretty lucky. I'm not going to lie about that. Not all that was spent. A lot of that was luck as well. Okay, so we got the dungeon. I need to claim these because I didn't do it yet. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Trade these in. Oh no, I don't want Titan Potion. We want Sparks of Power. Oh, let's see. Daily quests. Ooh, we also we 4-starred the other day. We 4-starred the 130, level 130 the other day. That was nice. This is level 120, but the other day we 4-starred for the first time. That was pretty cool. I got to rate it like 6 times. That was awesome. I still need to 4-star the very, very last one. I just haven't really attempted it very often, but yeah, so we 4-starred this one right here, which is really cool. We did it, and we still had like attacks left over, which was nice. Crazy. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and raid these because I can. I'm gonna do it twice. Yeah, Winterfest can be tough too. So I hear you. I just think that sometimes I was just gonna say though that like some item, whoa, sometimes there's just like during certain events there's like a better ratio or like sometimes there's a better drop rate for some reason when it comes to totem fragments. Like it's not always the case, but sometimes it does seem to be, something that happens. We're gonna claim that. Don't really have anything to trade in there. Inventory. What can I do here? Let's see. Sunken chests. Don't really. Why do I still have sunken chests? I want to like get rid of all of them. Keep coming back. Don't need these things. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look if we can grab some more soul stones. We can. Cool. Grab all of these. Get us closer to that 500. I have 10k particles. What is your opinion on the usage? My opinion is if your heroes are not all purple, or if your pets are not all purple yet, get them all to purple. That is step number 1, because then you can give 6 or 7. How many pets are there now? You can give all those pets patronage to a hero, which will benefit them in stats. So get them all to purple. Should be your step 1. And now I'm working on getting my Mara to +1. I'm working on all of them, getting them all to +1. It's a slow process, but that's what I'm doing. So I first got them all to purple. And then I focus on Albus a little bit more. And now I'm realizing that I need to kind of upgrade all of them. So I'm going to go all around to +1, I believe. Mara's really good for me because she extends the silence of Isaac. Plus, sometimes with Kark, she stuns for a really good amount of time. So just some factors there. Then I'm just trying to get these all to absolute. But yeah, I would say if you have 10k, consider getting all your pets to purple first. Then after that, you kind of have 2 directions you can go. You can focus on the main pet that you use for your team or the main pet that you use for your damage dealer. Those would be my 2 recommendations. Or you can do what I'm doing, which is kind of spreading it around all of them, and that allows me more flexibility when it comes to my teams, because right now my twins are getting to a point where I can almost use them in matchups. Like you can see orange +4, orange +4. Once they're red, I can start using them more freely. So that's what I do, Steven. Hopefully that makes some sense. Patronage is a game changer, and it sucks that we can't address that in terms of battle testing. That would be a game changer. That would make things very, 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 very mechanical. Seeing that also. Yep. Yeah, no problem, Steven. I think that's a great idea, and I think you're on the right track. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go with. I can't level up that one straight up, so I will just go ahead. I wanted to level up the first artifact of Moloch, but we can't. So I'm gonna just take the free essence that I'm gonna get by leveling this up 1 time. So we got 400 essence. EXP potions. We'll do one of those on. I guess Arachne. Finish off Arachne. So we're done with that. Emerald exchange 1 time. Of course, no problem. Let's go ahead and do the 3 chests in Outland as well. Brog. And here we have Alyssa, who's been defeated. Cool. We're all set there. Upgrade a skin or skills 3 times. Ooh, do we have any heroes we can still do that with? Hopefully. Chaba, Daredevil, Dante, Kira, Cornelius. Siri, no. Ashton Lucas? Yes. Okay, so we can upgrade Ashton Lucas a bit. We will do that. Very nice that we can do that. Cool. All right, so we did what we could there. Leveled that up. Gift of Elements. Don't really need the Titan Potion, but we can try. Whoa, what just happened? Okay, Daredevil, too many. We don't have quite enough. That's okay. We'll just wait on it. No big deal. Not in a rush. Special events. We use some combat support. We opened some chests in Outland. Okay, cool. Shock power. Yeah, no, it's fine. I just don't think that I just really still don't think that he's at S tier level. And again, like I understand your logic behind saying like if an S tier hero is countered by another hero, then they should be S tier. But that's not even how it works. Because like if you look at Chaba down here is on a B plus tier and can beat Aurora, right? So you can have lower tier heroes beat higher tier heroes, and I think what this tier list is talking about is different from synergetically. And yes, this is mainly based on individual heroes, not a group effort. I mean, obviously ODH is so iconic, and Corvus and Morgan are so iconic that they have to be together. But I don't think that that's always the case for. Okay, well that's annoying. I don't think that's the case for every single thing. So that's why they're like this. I mean, synergetically, you can have heroes that are S tier that are not individually ranked there, right? So that's just, I think I talk about that early on in the tier list as well. So I think I say, tier list is meant to guide. Tier list is meant to help new players to figure out which heroes are good. And then I just kind of say that. There should be something else though. Let's see. I had another disclaimer. Does not include all combos. Let's see, I definitely had another slide. It might not be in this video. But anyway, bottom line, not a big deal. Okay, so there we are with that. Let's go ahead and see. Don't think there's anything else I really need to do right now. Let's see. I do want to power up my Nebula, but I think Sebastian is just more important right now, and Faceless as well. And I know that Force, I think it's Faceless. Faceless has an item that I need 2 of these. No, it's not Faceless then. Is it Sebastian? Yep. Oh, bro, you rock. I'm going to be down in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to play for the king. I got a shower first.
Heck yeah, I cleaned that, so check it out.
Okay. I'm sure it looks great.
Appreciate you. All right. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I mean, we can do that. We can run that real quick before I need to.
Never looked better.
Okay, so here we can run this. We can do this right here. We can go with. Also, guys, check out this burrito I just got. Like, amazing, phenomenal, right? Look at this. This thing's packed. We're gonna eat that later. Okay, so Dante. Let's see. You wanted to use Aurora. It's fine, no problem. We can use Aurora. Aurora will protect against more magic damage, though, which is annoying. But I guess we can use Aurora on the other team as well. Dante. You can put in. What was it? It was Seb. I think you wanted Neb out. You want Martha in, and then we want a Jet in, right? So we want Jet in. Then if we test it, for example, against my favorite Magic team, we can see how it works. Let's see. My favorite team is Aurora, Celeste, Twins. I can't even use my own favorite team right now on this account because I focus too heavily on Kark. Sebastian, of course. Faceless is more important than Nebula. It depends on what you're trying to do. For me, yes, because a lot of the time, a lot of the opponents that I face will be using heroes that I need to use Faceless for, and Nebula, because of her positioning. Did you see that? Did we see that? This team just got taken out. I mean, I wouldn't say it's more important. I just think Faceless is more utilizable on more teams. I mean, Nebula is just very one-dimensional, so it's tough. You can't. It's not straight up yes or no, but I personally like Faceless a little more than Nebula. And for me, on the team that I use and the heroes that I face on a regular basis, Faceless is more important and can make a huge difference in campaign when I was using him for campaign. So yeah, Faceless was, for me, more important than Nebula, but not necessarily always going to be the case. What do I think of Phobos? I don't think much of Phobos. Yeah, so here you can see Dante, the whole team got destroyed. We can try someone else, but I still don't think that they're going to hold up very well. The Twins are just really good. And the thing is, you can never use Satori anymore when you have Sebastian on the opposing team. He erases the Fox marks, and the most Satori can ever have at one time is 9. And Sebastian can wipe away 15. So every time he uses his ult, which is going to be before Satori no matter what, Satori is only going to be able to take down 9. And every time he buffs, Satori's effect is going to be useless. So that's a problem, the way they have that going on right now in Facebook and web. Something to keep in mind. Let's see. I actually think Heidi is super underrated. I don't think Phobos is great. I apologize. I think I mentioned that, but yeah, sorry, Mike. I don't think Phobos is that great. Phobos is okay against physical attack damage dealers. Might be even good against this Dante here. But typically speaking, I don't like Phobos as a universal option. And usually I like heroes that can be used in many different scenarios, not just one niche scenario. So tough. I mean, the other thing too is like with the Twins, I was using Aurora. If we don't use Aurora, it could be a game changer. The other thing is ODH. We didn't try ODH. We can try ODH. ODH is much weaker than Twins, though, if we're being honest. ODH cannot really overcome Isaac on his own. Let's see. Where's Orion? Unless the Orion is that much stronger than the Isaac. I've seen it happen if the Isaac is weak. Let's see. So here's those guys. Let's see. Normally I'd put like Jorgen or something there, but we're going to put Sebastian in. Because Sebastian's on the opposing team. If I put Jorgen in, that would defeat the purpose of the team. Heidi is amazing. Heidi is highly underrated. I mean, even on my tier list, I felt really bad when I put Heidi where she was, or where he was. He's probably A- tier, but well, there's a couple things I couldn't really fit him in. Sadly, there was barely enough room. And then also, the other thing is Satori's dropped. So this tier list still needs an update after I just updated it, because some things have changed slightly. And I know it, like, they don't always notify us about every single change, but they've definitely been tweaking some stuff. So here you can see Helios's effect. I also love this outfit on Helios. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, Heidi's really good. Heidi has crazy dodge. Also, that poison effect is super annoying from Heidi. I think it's a he. I keep saying she. I think it's a he. It's a he. But anyway, Heidi's really good. Let's see how this does, though. This might end up pretty stalling so far. Dante's knocked out. But yeah, Aurora's going to save this team. They're not going to lose. They'll time out. But Dante already got knocked out. And the reason is Aurora is going to keep this team alive. Without Aurora, this team would lose. Yeah, so they stalled out. But anyway, yeah, Dante got taken out pretty easily there by Orion. Or Ryan? Yeah, Orion. we're just double checking everything now, I guess. We're just second guessing. Okay, here we go. Airship. Hopefully some of these are done. Yep, okay, so we got this item. Nice. Thank you, Kai. And we got this one here. Dante, Aurora, Dante. Okay, so you want to use that team? That team's much better because of Isaac. We can test it out, though. Let's see. Guild battles. After this, though, I probably will end up considering closing or ending the live stream relatively soon. My food's still warm, and I really want to eat it. Okay, let's see. Aurora. There's Dante. Also, Ziri got way stronger. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Ziri's new skin propelled her to be the #1 power player. Pretty funny. Okay, Aurora, Dante, Seb, Isaac, Nebula. Okay, this is a good team. Definitely will do better against magic attackers. But I'm still going to use my favorite team. Might struggle, though, because of that Isaac. Let's see. Seb, Aurora, Celeste, Twins. Crystal Lars. What is the best skin for Helios? I think there's a magic attack one that's really good. But let me double check before I just say that because that's off memory and I like to double check before I just say something like that. But I think it's magic attack. I'm going to double check though before I just confirm that. Yeah, so Aurora had problems. As soon as Aurora went down, this team was going to struggle. That's fine. Let's try. The other option is to go with something like this. Let's see. Seb. Twins. Aurora, Twins. I'm going to try Martha. We'll see. Probably won't do much, though. But I'm keeping Lars in a position that he can hopefully do more attacks. Dorian would have been smarter. I don't know why I didn't use Dorian. Oh, well. That's okay. What do I think of Sebastian's new skin? I actually really like it. I think it's cool. I have it on Facebook and I have it on mobile, even. I just really think it's cool. I think Sebastian's on Facebook and web the best hero, no doubt about it. I think the skin allows Sebastian to stay on the field longer. Do I think he needed a skin? No, because he's really good. Doesn't need a skin, but he got it. But yeah, so that's my opinion on it, Bass. I think it's really good. I like the way it looks. And I think it, I like the way that this skin looks when it's paired with my, I don't think it's not Captain Barbossa. It's the, it's this one right here. I forget the name of the character from Pirates of the Caribbean, but it kind of looks like him. The tentacle, he's got the tentacle. Oh my goodness. This guy, you know what I mean? But yeah. Isaac counters mage is pretty bad. Yeah, I agree. You need something to overpower it. So what you would need is, again, you would need to get rid of this Aurora is a problem. So you probably need to do like Chaba again. Because you just can't get to the rest of the team. Let's see. Let me try this. Let me try Chaba with the rest of this team. So Chaba, and I think with Chaba, maybe you have a better chance. I'm going to use almost the same team. Aurora, we're not going to have anyone behind the Twins. Crystal Lars, let's go with that. See how this goes. It may or may not work, but I do think that, yeah, with Isaac is pretty strong. Can be a major problem. And the other thing is Isaac gives more physical damage, so that like is a major boost to Dante in terms of his offensive abilities. Although here you can see that just putting Chaba in really changed the output of this matchup. Right, because Chaba, the reason I thought of Chaba was because Aurora is limiting the amount of magic damage that's done, and you can see that this team just won. So Aurora is limiting the amount of magic damage that's being done, in addition to Isaac. So those two are like semiconductors for magic damage. It's like when you have a really tall building, right? So there are some tall buildings that are created on purpose to absorb all the lightning that strikes. And so like when you have magic attack, they're going directly to these two heroes, which are Isaac and Aurora. You take Aurora out of the matchup using Chaba and getting rid of some of that dodge on top of it, which is a bonus. You don't really care about the dodge. What you care about is that magic damage being done, because the twins do a crazy amount of magic damage. And you can see here that as soon as Aurora, not yet eaten, but about to be, but there we go. So Nebula's out, and then you have Sebastian getting knocked out, which prevented a lot of negative ailments and limited the amount of marks that Krista was putting, which allowed Lars to do more damage. So Sebastian going down was huge as well. But you can see they just, they all fall down as soon as you can take out one. So Chaba is the key with this, with anything with Aurora. Just, it's a problem. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. No healer. No healer. I don't think we used a healer on that one. There are times, it's not always, but there are times when you're better off not using a healer. It's rare, but it happens. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy this live stream. I got to do a couple of things after this. And I'm also going to eat this huge burrito, guys. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this live stream. Want to thank you guys. And I do have another live stream tomorrow. And I wanted to thank you guys for hanging out. Again, I will be hopefully having no issues in terms of tech stuff. I did have, I usually live stream on my other computer, but we're having issues with that one. So we're getting things figured out. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with this live stream. It was really nice hanging out with you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week if I don't see you guys tomorrow morning. So thank you guys.